Hello everybody, this is Michael with Mikey Does Outdoors, and I've got a pretty interesting video for you today. We stayed in Cloudcroft, New Mexico, and went and checked out White Sands, and then went to a place called Agirre Falls, and then we went to another place called Agirre Springs, which is kind of on the other side of the mountain range, or closer to Las Cruces. But we had lots of fun, got to see some deer, some wildlife, and lots of beautiful scenery. But if you like what you see, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you. Well, on my way to Cloudcroft, I stopped off at Artesia, New Mexico, and stayed at the Artesia RV Park. Nice place, about $44 would have cost me for one night. Not a bad place. Artesia is a neat little town, I think. Give you another perspective of my. I had full hookups for that $44, including sewer, water, sewer, and electric. And it was good. And here's a first look at my campsite at Cloudcroft. This is the Sugar Pines RV Park. They were a good place. Didn't have a restroom developed because they're remodeling the restroom, but other than that, it was fantastic. It was freezing cold, so we couldn't hook our water hoses up, but I just filled up my water tank and used it from there. And so it was good stuff. And we saw deer that first day after we got back to camp. Thought I'd show a few of them here. I'll get some more deer shots coming later, some better ones. But these are pretty cool. Just like some bunch of puppy dogs coming wanting to get some food. And went straight from our campsite after we got all set up and went down to White Sands. Had a little bit of a trek, but it was middle of the afternoon. It was good, just right. Just right. The weather was pretty good. It was a little cool, but it wasn't too bad. So, you couldn't ask for a better deal. Because what's fun is you go over the mountain, and the first thing you see is a little white speck. You wonder what that is, and you keep getting a little closer. And then you realize, you see a sign and you realize, oh, that's White Sands. It looks like a cloud, low-lying cloud or snow or something from a long ways off. Sometimes it pops even better than you can see it here, but I thought I'd get a few shots from up above. You kind of see what it looks like from a ways off. And you see almost the whole thing, get a kind of neat look at it. And then we're going to go down there and we'll take I'll show you what it's like on the boardwalk. And that's what this is. They have a boardwalk that goes out in it, and you can take it and check it out a little better. It's kind of fun, I think, to do the boardwalk. I was going to do this a few years ago, but about 3 years ago, I guess, but it was freezing cold and raining, or not raining, but sleeting, and so I just didn't do the boardwalk that day. But I sure wanted to, and so we came back here and got it done this time. And it's a neat place. It's fun. There's lots of people, and everybody we met. I think absolutely everybody we met on this trip was just as nice as they could be, because most people are, They're not like what you see on the news most of the time. And so I like this kind of stuff because everybody's friendly. And it's fun to see this stuff. Cause to me, it's kind of funny because you have all these mountain stuff, and then all of a sudden you have this White Sands in the middle of the sand dunes, in the middle of everything. It's kind of fun to see it all. You can see the wind makes it have the waves in it and stuff. It's kind of cool. This one doesn't move around as much as some of them do. I went and saw the Monahans Sand Dune State Park in Texas, and those sand dunes still are active, and they move around with the wind and the weather and stuff. And here's a look at us going down, and that's my buddy Richard went with me. He brought his little casita travel trailer, and he camped right below me in the first pull-through spot there at that Sugar Pines Resort. But he wanted to see this too, and so this has been a good opportunity for us to both go relax for a little while. I took a Friday and a Monday off so I could have a little time, and it was fun. Lots of fun. Take you on I'm going to take you on the whole thing because it's a lot of the same kind of stuff. But you can kind of see what it looks like. It'd be fun if you they have little signs along the way, showing you. They're talking about what kind of shrubberies and bushes and different things that you're seeing out there, what they are, and what they're called and everything. It's fun. It's good information. It's just a good fun learning experience, and just to see it. The boardwalk, it's not too bad. It's out there a way, but it's not too bad of a walk. It's all on that kind of composite board there. I think they actually may have redone that since I was there 3 years ago, but anyway, it's a good one now. Looks good and feels good. Pretty easy walk out there in the middle of the sand dunes. There's some shots from from there, from the boardwalk. You know, pretty. I think the whole area is just as pretty as can be. You know, it's just fun to see. And I had to take a selfie. You know, get a few of those selfies in. And you know I'm really there for one thing. Not just trying to act like I was there. And we did another trail, and it was kind of fun. This is the beginning of it. You have a little parking area, and this is where they had the parking. We start doing the trail. There's my buddy Richard up in front. It's a beautiful day. Little cold, could have had a little wind, but it wasn't bad. It was in the 50s. You know, it could have been a lot worse. Up in Cloudcroft, it was in the 20s when I first got there. Started in the 50s, and as I got up to Cloudcroft, it was 27. Then I came back down. By the time I got to Alamogordo, it was 51 again. And so, you know, it's not too bad. Give you a few shots of what it's like from that perspective around. Yeah, fascinating stuff. And it's not too far from the White Sands missile ranges either. And so, you know, it's just fascinating. I keep saying that, but it's just the truth. Lots and lots of, feels like you're in the desert. Almost want to hear that song about water, cool water. Makes me wonder what the first people who ever came across it thought. You know, same thing with stuff like the Grand Canyons and even Palo Duro Canyon. It's close to here where I live. You know, what did the first person who came across this stuff think? You know, oh my God, how are we going to get across that? See, and that was the easy part. You got to, you know, none of it's hard. But every time after we stopped here, there was a little bit of an uphill track. And there's two ways: the right one and the left one. The right one is not as well packed down, but it wasn't bad. We went up there to walk that way and then down the left, back around on this other side, coming down. My buddy Richard has his Patreon account. I think it's Richard E. Porter on Patreon, and he needs to stop every once in a while and try to get some photos, you know. I think he's got him a new lens and stuff. He's working on getting some good photos. That place is good, very photogenic. Whereas everything out there is, you know. Lots of people have been there. Thankfully, it was cool enough that day. It was on a Friday, so not everybody had gotten there. You know, so it wasn't that big a deal. But there was still a lot of people. Like I said, absolutely every person we met was as nice as can be. And so, I mean, on the whole trip, it was that way. Yeah. Yeah, and here was another selfie of me out there. I used to never do selfies, but you know, it's kind of fun that way, and that lets you know I'm really there. You know, some more shots from the parking area, I guess you'd say, for that trail. Oh, and there's some bushes, and the sunshine, those kind of orangish yellow bushes were really popping, and kind of fun to get a shot of them. And I like using the iPhone because it'll do the starburst thing. If you have a nice camera, you can do it and probably make a lot better one. But then the next morning we got up and went to Agirre Springs, and that was really fun. That was just on this side, the Alamogordo side of the pass there. And they have tent camping and stuff over there. You can camp, and it's very pretty. I mean, you can see they're kind of rugged mountains. It's part of the Oregon mountains, you know, and because especially from a distance, they look like organ pipes, and that's why they call them the Oregon mountains. And so, fun to see this, and it's really fun to see the different mountains and how they seem to be made up, you know, because not hardly any of the mountain ranges are the exact same, you know. It's fascinating to me. We didn't stay at this one as long as we did other places, but it was good to see. Fun to know it's there, because if I want to, I can go stay there and see what it's like to stay there. Now we go over to on the other side of the pass, on the Las Cruces side, to Dripping Springs. Still in the Oregon Mountains. And they had a nice little, very, very well maintained little path. It's not, I don't know if you call it a hiking trail or not, but it's a path. And as you can see, that's what it is most of the way. It is gradually uphill most of the way up to the springs, which is nice because when you come back, it's gradually downhill, so it's kind of not too bad. But it's a mile and a half one way, so 3 miles round trip. And so take a little water with you. Don't go without any water, because you might have problems. There was a big sign that says people die in this every year because they don't come prepared. They're either not capable of making that kind of a hike, or they have a health issue, or they try to do more than they should. They don't take water, or don't take provisions with them. A little video of some of it. We'll get some more video going down the trail. Good. Nice, and this is a pretty day, pretty area. I still wore my jacket because with the wind it was a little chilly, but it wasn't too bad. Lots of pretty shrubs and trees and stuff that are still green. And they have signs here and there telling you where you are and which way to go. So you don't have to worry too much about getting lost. And they do have other things up there. They have some kind of a, I can't even think what it's called. They have a camp, a mountain camp, an old mountain camp, from back in the olden days. And they have another, I think it's a mental institution kind of thing. I forget what it's called now, but up there as well. We just went to the springs and back, because that's what we could handle. Both of us are working out again, trying to get back in shape, and we'll be able to do better at it. Right now, that's what we got. And so Richard may be a little better at it than me at the moment. So he's more into hiking and stuff than I am. I like day hikes, alright. I don't do long backpacking hikes. We got to stop every once in a while and get photos, and sometimes get drinks, and stuff. And we're talking most of the time about various things. You can see how flat the trail is. It's just uphill. I don't know what the percentage grade is, but it's not just terrible, but it is uphill most of the way. If you get closer, you'll have some downhill and stuff a little bit. Probably 90% of it is a gradual uphill climb. And lots of prickly pear. We have that in Texas too. All over. As a matter of fact, I think that's just about everywhere I've ever been. You'll see prickly pear. Some places get into making jellies and stuff out of the fruit. Well, they say you have to strain it pretty good. And this was like a way station for a stage line, I think. Still have the old building sitting there. Have a little sign there telling you what it is, all about it. And I don't have as many pictures on this trip because I let my camera batteries go out in both sets, and so what I do get for pictures is with my cell phone. And I have a good cell phone. It's an iPhone 12 Pro Max, you know. So got 3 lenses and does pretty good at taking photos and video. Yeah. We saw lots of people going both directions. Families having a good time, you know. Individuals, and it's just a lot of fun. And one of my buddies I used to work with told me about this last time I was in Las Cruces. But at Las Cruces, it was in the 50s. By the time I got up to the big end of that trail, it was in the 30s, the low 30s, and snowing. And so, I'm a fair weather person. I don't really like to. I'm not hardcore like that. I know a lot of people like to be hardcore, but that's not me. I'm not that kind of hardcore. I like to do it and have a chance to enjoy it all. There's another selfie of me there. We're getting closer to the springs. I think now, yeah, I see we're about to get to the springs. We got to go down. There's a kind of neat little path. The path goes down under those trees. Yeah, here we go. Here we go under the tree. Fun. They got it kind of roped off. And it looks to me like they used to be able to go up to the top. But you can't anymore because they've got it roped off. And that's fine. Maybe somebody caused problems up there. There's some problem of some sort that's keeping us from going up there. But you can see it all from down here. The springs is way up there dripping. Well, and there's some dripping down lower too. Then there's like a man-made thing there. I guess they used to let it pool up some, you know. I don't know for sure. You see kind of it laid like bricks right there. It's fascinating to me. I know it probably comes from underground springs, but that's up there pretty high. I don't know where the spring's coming from. I need to do some research, maybe, and figure that out. It still fascinates me. Right out here, kind of in the middle of nowhere, with your dripping springs right there, which was good, probably life-giving for back in the old days. Here's a little look at the actual dripping springs there, part of it, up there. Get a little closer here in a second. There you go, it's dripping down those rocks. Just coming right on down. Yeah. And then the next day after my buddy left, I did a few things and then came back and these deer were hanging around. I think the area must have been I'm calling it the nursery, because mostly had mamas and babies. And like, there's two, and one bigger, one smaller mama, and then the baby. And they were kind of fun, like puppy dogs. You'll see in a video in a minute, it looked like they were going to come right up to me. If I had any food, I think they would have. You know, it's one of those cute little moments, awe moments, I think. Here they are, there's a video of the two bigger ones. You can see one of them's obvious, the biggest one, the mama. Looks to me, there they all are. Zoom in a little. And then the big one will look like she's going to come up right up to me. Yeah, see? She's thinking about it. If I had any food, she'd have been right up there probably. I didn't know that they'd be there like that, or I might have taken some deer corn or something. I like the wildlife. We did see a couple bucks. One of them was like a 6-point. Didn't really get any good shots of them. I got one Monday morning before I came back with a spike buck, and he was just walking around eating grass, having a good time, not too worried right there. I think they know right there they're not going to get shot, and it is hunting season. I finally got some shots of my trail camera. As you can see, there's just the rear end of something down in the bottom left-hand corner of this shot. But there's some deer you can see out there. I set it up in a place where I saw lots of deer before. I got about 195 vehicles going up down the road and just a few shots of some deer. But I thought that was kind of fun to finally get something with it. I'll get some more stuff, I'm sure. And this last picture, though, I didn't think I got anything, but if you look up to the left, there looks like a torso of maybe an elk or something up there. I guess that's what that is. It's hard to tell for sure. Well, that was the video of Cloudcroft and White Sands, Agirre Falls, and Agirre Springs, and wildlife and surroundings and stuff. And it was a whole lot of fun to go do. And hope this kind of sparks your interest in going and checking out what's over there. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like and subscribe button. I can sure use the support. Thank you.